Okay, so it's live now. I'm recording. Kyle, just to kind of set up the call real quick for the coaching, right? You're currently in KVK 2.
Yep.
Okay.
KVK 2.
Like, how far are you in KVK 2? You guys like Kingsland's about to open. It just started. Where are you?
So we got 9 days left.
Okay, so it's already over.
Yeah, it's pretty much over.
Okay, and you reached out because you're looking for how to transition to KVK 3 and then SOC.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay, and just kind of set this up a little bit. So right now you have about 1,400 gold heads.
No. So I have like 1,050. I'm hoping to have 1,400
by KVK 3. Okay.
By KVK 3.
Okay, and then your marches. I'm gonna pull this up here. I don't know if you could. Okay, you won't be able to see this. I think I'm gonna pull it up. See, let me know if you can see it. If not, it's fine too. But your marches, you're running 2 marches right now. You can't see this, right?
No, I can't.
Okay, so you're running a Richard and a Mina, and the Richard is with, where is this? Okay, Mina YSG, both expertise, and then a Richard 5511 and an Ethel.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So some basic questions first. Are you playing on the PC?
So when we fight and stuff, I'll mainly play on the PC, but like a lot of the grinding stuff I usually do on my phone. So.
Okay, but you do actually fight on the PC?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And then KVK 2, how many kills did you get?
Right now I'm at 16 million.
Okay, so the KVK 1 you were at a little under 5 million, and the KVK 2 you're actually like triple that. Okay, that's really good. That's way better than I did in KVK 2. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so before I just start bombarding you with a lot of general thoughts, like what is it about the transition, or like what do you, because you seem like you actually like watch videos, you know what you're doing. So is there anything specifically you're not sure about, or?
So, I mean, I guess the only thing really is, so my overall goal is obviously to not spend as much as I have been.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, like, depending, like, so I might have a different thought process of how I want to do things. Like, for example, I know you say Hugo Bing is not like a good investment, but at the same time, my goal within the next KVK or 2 is to have at least 3 chaining barb marches, because that's how I feel like I can keep up if I don't spend a lot of money.
Right.
So I guess I want to balance that with also at least fielding 2 meta marches, which I'm probably going to do. I'm going to wait for the new cav and see if that new cav is good and pair him with potentially Joan. And then also, I'm definitely going to go Scipio LC.
Okay. And then how many farms do you have right now?
So right now, I have 3 in my kingdom.
Yeah.
I have so like I said, I played before, so I have an alt that's 24 mil. That's just kind of sitting off somewhere, just doing whatever. And then I do have 2 like really small ones that I plan on working on eventually, but I'm actually trying to get my 3 that I have now to T4 before I start working on those again.
Okay. And you're in like
just too much.
Okay. And then you're, let's see. So you're about, you started what, like August of 23? So you're maybe like 6 months in. Is that about when you started?
Sounds about right. I'm at 223 days, so.
Okay. You're actually in a really good place. Now, did you have like a plan for how many marches you want to do? Like, I mean, not how many marches. Like for the 3 marches, were you just looking like one of each troop type, or were you looking to do like 2 cabs? What was your actual plan?
So that's the plan. My plan is to do one of each troop type. So eventually, I'll start working on Archer. I don't know if I'm gonna do. It just depends how quickly I can get gear. Maybe I'll do Herman YSG, or I'll just. You know, if it takes a long time, then maybe I'll do ZL Herman. It just depends, because right now I'm not even close to Archer gear.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't have any other gear besides the stuff you sent me, right? Pull that up real quick.
Basically, I have one other gear set, but it's like wind sweeps for like buy bars, just for I use it. For
Okay, so you do have like
Olympia.
a set of blues, but it's just not
that's
field ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
I don't really want to field a march that I'm gonna like do even or less than even. That's kind of my mindset.
Well, yeah, of course. It does not feel good to be not trading well. Okay, and then here's your armaments. Okay, so you have 3 legendaries for your cav, and then honestly, your infantry gear is like done as far as what you need for KVK 4. Like obviously you could do better, but this is like I made a video about like the minimum equipment. So it's really important that you have a hope cloak, and then you either have the helm and the boots or the helm and the gloves, right? Because the upgrade from the boots and the gloves, it's about the same. So that is like actually already in a decent place. Like if I was actually looking at your cav equipment, if you want it to be quote unquote done as far as like what I recommend for a KVK 4, you just get a chest on there, right? Because then it goes from defense to health, and that's actually above and beyond what like the minimum would be for the equipment. Okay. Now, you said you're up to now. You spend about 150 to 200 a month. Like, what would you? And then ideally, you would like it to be 50 to 100 a month.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So my thoughts is like I want to spend enough for like crystal tech stuff in SOC.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I can stay narrow enough, then at least I can continue playing at a high level with only doing that.
Yeah. So with your spend, I do think you should go for 3 marches, and it just depends on, would you rather have 3 marches quicker and then you have that on the field and it's like doing all right? So basically, if you get 3 marches quicker, even if the march is a little less efficient, it's going to be a little bit more draining on your resources, but you have 3 farms, which is actually really good for where your account's at. You'll overall be able to say like get more kills, right? But you won't be as efficient. Now, if you start with the 2 marches and then you make it more efficient, essentially, right? You expertise it, you get your equipment, your armaments better, you'll be more efficient, but the overall output won't be as much. So I wouldn't say there's necessarily a right answer. There is a minimum threshold that you should be at. I think you're gonna be past that minimum threshold anyways. So it's more like, hey, do you want to get the march to an even better place before you move on? Or do you want to kind of be okay with the minimum threshold and then get the 3rd march out there? So by KVK 4, you feel like you're trading good enough, but also you're able to go for, say, the 30 million kill, which I think you get, or like beyond that. Okay, so that's something for you to consider. I don't think there's necessarily a right answer. I know for me personally, what I decided to do was to actually go really wide earlier, which was a mistake, right? But like if I'm close, I would choose to go wide. That's just my personality. Whereas like if I could go back and tell myself when I was in KVK 2, I would actually focus on 1 march, get it to a better place, and go to the next march. Because that KVK 4 for me was just when I could first get the SOC commanders. That was like almost like a shock to the system, because you get there and you were pretty comfortable in KVK 3 when you didn't have the SOC commanders, and when they all became available, it seemed like everyone had them except for me. Right? There's actually just not that many native players, and a lot of my marches, like I had like 5 sets of gear working on my 6, right? Like it just wasn't good enough. So I had to grind really hard. I spent more on crystal tech than I wanted to, just to get 30 mil. And by the KVK 5, a lot of that transition, like that difficulty with transition was gone. Oh, so like if you're going back, and obviously this is a little bit earlier, and I think you're actually in a better place than I was. When you get to KVK 3, right? Just even with what you have right now with the equipment, and then the amount of gold heads you set up, and you spend a little bit on crystal tech, you'll actually be able to do like more than good enough with 2 marches in KVK 3. Now, if you get another march, right? So maybe, well, Archer, you probably won't get until the end of KVK, so just something probably more for KVK 4. But if you actually try to get the the Archer March done before KVK 4, I think you'll actually have a way easier transition, have a lot more fun than I did
Yeah.
when that first becomes available. Now, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know if I'll be able to save that many heads because, like I said, I have 1,050 right now, and
Yeah, so it comes down to let's just say at KVK 3 you have 1,400, right? What was your plan on spending it?
So with 1,400, so right now I'm kind of trying to save up gems as well, so I can spin some wheels. But my plan right now was, depending if the Cav Commander came out or not, that kind of depends if it's going to be out by then. But if it's not out, I was just going to get Joan, try to get her the 5-1-1-5 or 5-5 or whatever.
Yeah.
1-5, and then max LC. Depending on the Cav Commander, I'd either max the Cav Commander and then get Scipio as high as I can, so 5-5, 5-1 until I can expertise him.
Okay, and then you don't have Alex, right?
No, I completely bypassed Alex.
Okay. And then, do you buy the dailies, like the dailies for commanders, or no?
I haven't been. I wouldn't be against it. I just haven't been currently because I don't want any of the commanders that are there currently. Like sometimes I'll buy them if I'm trying to get like a recharge event or something.
Right. Okay, so if I remember correctly, when you'll actually have access to all the daily commanders that are, once they're in-game commanders, it'll actually be when off season before KVK 3 starts. Right, so you won't be able to get them now, but they just added Nevsky and Scipio to the dailies, right? It's supposed to come out in like 3 or 4 days, I think.
Okay.
And so that actually really changes what I would recommend to people. Now, if you're buying it, say like let's just say there's 30 days in a month, right? You spend $5 a day. That's actually going over your budget just with the dailies. So that's why like it's one of those where, depending on whether that's something you're willing to go for, I think the strategy would also change. So what are your thoughts about that?
I guess if that's an option, just literally just thinking about it right now, what I initially thought is like I could get Scipio the 5-5-5-1 a usable position, and then maybe max him just with dailies or something like that. I mean,
so let's put it this way, right? If it was me personally, and I was in your position, and 50, like let's just say the budget isn't $50. Let's just say it's $200 a month, and I know that's what you're shooting for. When I get to KVK 3 and I had 1,400 gold heads, it's very likely that the Cav Commander will be out by the time you actually get that first wheel in KVK 3. And the first wheel in KVK 3, from what I was told, is actually Cav. Okay, so it obviously depends on whether he's worth investing or not. Odds are he is going to be worth investing, right? And like that one, how many gems do you have saved up, by the way?
I got 75k.
Okay.
So like not.
Okay, so.
An amazing amount, but.
Yeah, so like gold heads are kind of weird because once you actually catch up, you'll spend very little to none at all to get them. But during this transition phase, almost like all your resources, in my opinion, should go towards that, because that's where you could get the biggest boost to catch up with everyone else. Right? So if it was me, when you get to KVK 3, I would actually invest the dailies in Nevsky, give him the 5-5-1-1, and by the time KVK starts, you'll probably get him like maybe like 3-1-1 or something. And then once you give him the 5-5-1-1, right, the new Cav Commander, depends whether it's an instant expertise. It might just be a 5-5-5-1, because yes, like obviously like the best of the best commanders, you want them to be expertise, but starting out, you actually do want to kind of do a budget build so you can fill out your marches and then expertise them after, just because the power creep is real, right? So Mina and you could put a double relic on them, but compared to if you give me a 5/5 Nevsky or a double relic Mina, I would actually probably take a 5/5 Nevsky slightly over, or obviously the upside's way higher, right? So you can either kind of like fill in the gap. You just use Mina behind the new Cav Commander, or you could actually go for like Nevsky in a daily. Right? It's a luxury you have, right? And you already have a expertise Mina, so that's not as like pressing. And then same thing with Scipio, right? Or let's just say you decide to put Mina behind Nevsky, then actually as soon as the off season for KVK 3 starts, you can start investing in Scipio, like in dailies, and give him the 5/5 right? And then Cav Commander comes out. You obviously unlock them, probably go to 5/5 That'll take you about what, like 350 gold heads, whatever that number is, right? You still have a lot left, and then you actually get LC next, and then you get Herman next, right? Because you could literally just use 360 gold heads and get a 5/5 ZL and Herman, and that's actually like good enough. Right, so like it's actually really easy to build out 3 marches. They're not going to be top to top, but like at least you already have something to work on, and then you're going to slowly fill that out.
Okay.
All right, so I think the first decision for you is, honestly, after talking it through and with what you're willing to spend or prefer to spend, I actually would skip Nevsky and start investing in Scipio right away for the dailies, and just give them 5/5 right? So you get I remember looking at the number and doing some math before. I don't really remember now. Off the top of my head, I'm just going to say, let's just say on average, you get like 3 sculptures per daily you buy. Sometimes you get like 12. I've gotten 12 before. And then when you're really unlucky, they give you a pity option where you get 1. Right? So I just average it out to 3. It's probably a little more. I forgot the math for that. So let's just say you get 3 every daily. Then if you do 60, that will get you to 180, right? And 60 times 5, ooh man, that's $300 over
yeah, it's up quick.
yeah. So that's one of those where like it wasn't as urgent before, because just like honestly the best commander in the dailies before to me was William, and then there wasn't even someone else that's close. But now you literally have Scipio in there and Nevsky, and that really changes it for mid spenders.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was a change that was about to happen.
Yeah, that just came out like 3 or 4 days ago. Like when it was first released, I looked at it, I'm like, this feels kind of dirty. Like it doesn't seem right to see Scipio in the dailies, because he was like the best commander of the game when I first started. Right, so I started like July of 2022, and like, you know, as soon as I kind of figured out what the hell was going on, the game was overwhelming at first. I'm like, oh my god, I just can't wait to run Kuang Scipio. That was like the ultimate march that I dreamed of being able to run. And now seeing Scipio in the dailies is actually kind of dirty. It just feels wrong.
Well, now it's Scipio LC.
Yeah, now Scipio LC. Is it for players in your position? Is that what that is the best march in the game? It's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that seems like, so I was originally, my plan was when I first started playing again, I was like, I'm gonna do Cavs. I'm gonna get like Nevsky, I'm gonna get Hugo, William. Like, I want to be fast. And then now I'm like, I gotta get Scipio LC. Like,
it's that march. That march is. It takes like no skill to run that. I mean, and I don't even say it in like you know, you obviously you're skilled with using it, but it just like when I'm running the marches, you look at the reports. Right, they're all like doing whatever. They're all doing about the same thing, and then Scipio LC would trade like 5-1, while Nevsky Jones is trading like 2-1. Right, and you just look at it, you're like, this is disgusting. Like, what do you? it's a very, very fun march to use. You can use it for almost everything. You already have like a cab and infantry set, so I think honestly, yeah. So unfortunately, Lilith, before when they first released the museum system, there was a lot of different ways to get the relic coins. There's 2, right? There's the one where you can unlock the commander, and then the other one is actually the token you use to upgrade the skills. There's like an event where you can get X amount. I forgot the exact amount. I think it's enough to essentially expertise or not expertise, like the max the museum for like 2 commanders, and the rest of it you just get slowly, or you have to pay more money for it. And like I think it's pretty clear for you, right? Like you have 2 options. You have YSG or Mina, and based on what you're looking to spend, I would actually skip Nevsky then. Double museum Mina, which is actually very, very solid. Like that museum is pretty crazy, and he's gonna do okay. Like he'll be very solid with the new Cav commander. And then probably if you do invest in dailies, do Scipio, and 5511 is good enough. But then Luce, when you unlock him, if you want to spin the wheel and don't instant expertise him right away, that's fine. But he should be your first expertise. Like his expertise transforms how well he does. Like the before and after, like when you press the expertise button, you look at the reports, there is not another expertise that's as good as Scipio. I mean, Luces. Okay, and then if you are okay with putting 360 gold heads into your archers, you get ZL and Herman at 5511. Right, so if you, let's just say 700 gold heads for Luce, 360 for Herman ZL, right, so that's 1060. And then it comes down to like how much you're willing to spend on that Cav commander. Like, is his expertise worth it? There was like a leak, I don't know if you saw it on April 1st, the new Cav commander. At least for me, a lot of people were talking about it. It was crazy, like the way it was presented. Basically that Cav commander was almost like designed to pair with Huo. You mentioned Huo earlier. I don't think he's bad. I said this multiple times. I just think he's overrated based on like the reports people get, because he will get you eye-popping reports, but if you're actually tracking how the reports do overall, like through a whole KVK, he actually does worse than Nevsky Joe, right? And I don't know if you know who Plato is. He's my KD.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so he actually made a video, right? And I'm actually using the same guy. It's this guy on Discord named like Cuba Mike, but essentially there's like a system where you'll just track all your reports, and then you could get a kill to death ratio, how you march it, like everything at the end. So I'm gonna run that like this next KVK coming up for us, so I can have that for my own. But when Plato did it for the last KVK, right, like Nevsky Jones just did better than the whole William, like by a significant amount. So even like as far as like the overall reports and how they trade, right, like people just seem to think Huo will get more kills, but in reality Nevsky Jones actually did better for him. Okay.
I guess the big kind of appeal to me was the whole multi-purpose.
Yeah, because you could heal for chaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
I envision like that being part of the way that I can, stay competitive, like I was saying.
Yeah. Now, I don't think if you decide to go with Huo, it's like a bad choice. Because he's a good commander. I'm just saying who I think is better. But like, if you were like telling me you want to go for Sargon instead of Scipio or something, and I'm like, okay, no, you're just making a mistake, right? like, because that the gap is really big. Like, Huo is really good. It just for like a group utility and like the buffs and debuffs and everything, along with the damage and the tankiness, I personally would take Nevsky over Huo. And I know that's actually probably more in the minority now, but I just think the stats actually point that way, and then especially with like Nevsky's debuff and stuff. But I'm not gonna like tell someone they just completely messed up and they went for Huo just because he's very appealing, right? Because when you're on and you're just constantly healing, you're gonna deal a lot of set wounds, right? If you're talking about chaining, right? I mean, he's gonna chain way better than like any other Cav commander you could put out there with his heal.
Yeah.
So like you like make the call. Like if you came back in a month, you're like, hey, I expertise Huo. I'm not gonna be like, what were you doing? Like I'm just giving an opinion on who I think is better.
Yeah. I guess another thing that I'm worried about with going like 3 marches right now is that my troop count is kind of low.
Yeah.
I did get zeroed in KVK1 on accident, obviously.
I hope it's by accident.
Ever since that, I've been kind of struggling with troops. So like even right now, I have like 430,000
Yeah.
cav and like 320,000 infantry, which is enough to field fight with. But if I'm gonna like, I kind of got my like, if I get too many more deads, I won't even be able to field fight. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me actually look up your. I distracted. I turned it off. There we go. Angry. Okay, let's see here. How many troops you said you had again? 400,000 cav.
Yeah, 430 cav, 312 infantry, and then I have like,
Okay, and then what's the T5 T4 split?
infantry and cav is basically all T5.
Okay.
So 30,000. I have 30,000 infantry T4 and 28,000 cav T4.
Okay, and then about how much resources you think you're gonna have going into KVK 3? You there? Oops. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hey,
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
My bad. I think my internet just like had a hiccup.
Yeah, that's fine. About how much resources you think you're gonna have heading into KVK 3?
I would say I don't know. Probably like 3 or 4 bill, like mixed.
Okay. That's actually more than enough for KVK 3.
Like, I'm not opposed to buying like some or
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I actually don't think you need to. So I think you actually have more than enough like troops. What I would recommend you try out is just only train T4 now. Well, how many archers do you have, by the way?
like 220, but it's all T4.
Okay, so you have 4 something cav, 3 something infantry, and then 220 archer.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you're running one of each march, I'm actually not. I don't actually remember the hospital capacity without KVK. Okay, 675.
Without KVK or
No, without Crystal Tech.
Oh, 675.
75. Okay. I mean, you don't. For one march, you don't need that much. How many marches do you think you need? I mean, how many troops do you think you need?
I mean, at least around 320 to 330 per march. Like if I'm using the expansion.
To field it, right? Okay.
So
yeah.
I barely have that for infantry, and then I have a little bit more cav, but
okay.
I also, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you need to get some deads, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know usually how it works as far as like, are you trying to take more T5 deads or T4 deads? Like, I don't really have a lot of T4 except for archers to get deads with, so I'm pretty much just...
So this this is something I want. I think it actually throws younger players off, because unless you can carry a lot of troops, your deads are going to be kind of low going into Season of Conquest, right? So if you're following videos, everyone's like, oh, if you're a fighter, you have a lot of deads. Like, once you get into Season of Conquest and like you're kind of like caught up, and then you essentially have a range of like, okay, and like because you get half your troops back in Season of Conquest, right? And so basically you'll get, hey, I'm gonna go into KVK at about 85 million, right? And then I could drop down to, for me personally, I could drop down to 75 million. So I could drop about 10 million power and still fill my hospital before I have to heal the hospital, right? Below 75 million, I literally can't feel the troops, right? So my hospital will not be full and I need to start healing already. So then you're using the helps a lot faster. Once I get to like about 70 million, I can't feel 6 marches anymore, right? So for me, for example, if I actually still have resources, I shouldn't be dropping to 70 million because I would be a lot more valuable fielding all the marches I could field and providing field support, right? While now, if my resources and my speeds are getting low, whichever one you hit first, and I can't really field that many marches anyways, then you want to start killing more troops. So there's almost like threshold A of what you want to kill, and then that's for me 75 million. Threshold B would be 70 million, right? Like, and then I shouldn't actually go beyond threshold B unless I'm out of resources or speeds. Right, so like, but if you're a younger player, right, you're still trying to get the troops. You got 0, you're still trying to catch up. Like just focusing on taking deads right now, especially when you don't get half of it back, right? You get like 30% or something.
Yeah, it's 30%.
Yeah, like it's like setting a younger player up to fail, right? Whereas like when you have like an older player, like a bigger whale, that when they lose the troops, it's not as impactful for them. They should be the one taking more deads. So like there will be a time where you should take more deads, but that shouldn't actually be something that you're sacrificing your effectiveness on the field for, just to take more deads so the stats look better, if that makes sense. Like if you actually want to contribute to the kingdom, right? How do you make it where you could field fight the longest and contribute to the kingdom? It's not going over that threshold until you're out of resources or speeds, and then you can't do anything else anyways with those troops. Might as well kill them off.
Yeah, for sure. So you were saying that you want to be able to let your hospital like fill up without being able to heal. So like, do you wait and batch heal, or like, is there why don't you just heal as you go? Or
so I forgot when Lilith made this change, but you get 1,000 helps a day, right? So basically, you know how like whenever you heal, I think you get up to like 30 alliance helps. Right, so like theoretically, you can actually heal like 300 something times. Now, if you're finding a lot, right? If you're batch healing, once you use up all your helps, you can still heal. It's just your alliance members can't help you anymore. Yeah. So if you actually wait longer to heal, so for example, if you heal, right, and it's like when you first start out, it says like, oh, it'll take you like 13 days to heal, and then if you look as the helps come in, the amount of days it takes to heal drops a lot. You actually, it's more if the helps are more efficient when you could, yeah, I get it.
So you're just waiting. You want to be able to fill it up as much as possible before you heal.
Yeah. Now I've never personally run out, and I'm actually not sure if there's a way to track how many. I'm gonna guess there is. I just like because usually I wait all the way. I don't think I come close to that, but if you start running out of helps and then you're just batching and you're burning through your speeds really quick, because once you're out of speeds, it's game over, right? The only thing you do with those troops is just to send them to die.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the KVK is like, it's almost like it's like if you're running a 5K, right? Everyone else is coming out really fast. You have to actually go at your own pace, because you don't want to run out of troops before a Kinsland fights. Now, the problem with that too is, okay, let's just say you're saving a little bit, and then Kinsland comes around. It was like a 4-hour fight, and then one side just flopped over. Then you're just sitting there like, what the hell, right? But like that's actually the way to go. Really, that's the way to go. Like you pace for the most important fight, just provided like it seems like it was going to be competitive, rather than you just blew your load in the first zone and then you can't do anything. Right? Okay, fine. Like you used up all your resources, but you didn't actually manage your account and pace in a way where if there was a fight in Kinsland, you could actually contribute when the fight matters the most. So all of that is to say, I think for you, if you're running one of each march, right? Like I think at like 500,000, 600,000, like maybe like is more than enough of the troop. And like we have four something for cabs, 3 something for infantry, and you don't even have archer march right now. Like you're actually on your way there.
Yeah.
You're not that far off.
I think what kind of even inspired me to go narrow is I think it was one of your videos with Plato, and y'all saw somebody that had a bunch of crit equipment and you're
Yeah.
like, it doesn't, like, this doesn't make sense if he doesn't spend. And then you're like, I guess he just went super narrow and he just decided to clear all his equipment instead of
Yeah.
expand out. Like,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on like doing something like that instead of like trying to field a bunch of marches?
So there's a difference between like efficiency and effectiveness, right? So for example, if I run around, I'm like, hey, I traded like 20-1 last KVK. That's awesome, right? That's amazing. But to trade 20-1, you were probably playing like a little bitch. And also you just weren't fighting enough. Because if you were and there was any kind of competition, there's just no way, right? So like, I don't know if you follow like football. Right. So okay. So there is actually a point where the QB completion percentage is too high, right? Because if like some quarterback is throwing like completing 85% of his passes, what do you think he's doing? Right, he's not throwing it deep. He's literally dinking and dunking and just taking like like captain check down or something. Is that actually helping the team win? Right, the percentage looks good, but how effective is it actually in helping the team? Right, so when you go narrow, you're going to be able to be a lot more effective. But if your spend and your activity level can actually support more marches, you're taking effectiveness off of the table and trading it for efficiency. So it's almost like the equivalent of you not taking deep shots when it's there, just so you could keep your completion percentage higher. Right, and people could point to efficiency, right? But like efficiency is not what wins KVKs. Ultimately, like if your whole side was like zeroing themselves and they traded negative, but like they actually burned this like objective or whatever, and then you got a territory advantage, you ended up winning. That's what that's what matters, not you traded 3-for-1 or 5-for-1 or whatever. So I think like a good balance of that is, if you can't trade positive, one, it's not fun, right? Because you just feel like you're, I don't know, you just doesn't feel good on the field. So you want to at least be able to trade positive. If you could trade positive with that march, you want to go like wider so you could actually be more effective. And also like the 30 million kill achievement really like actually isn't that hard to get, especially when you get to the end game and you're fighting at a higher level, right? So when you want to get more kills and contribute more, you just need more marches, right? Because you have like the ultimate like 2 super marches with the best of the best equipment. That's still 2 marches. Like you have to play so much just to be able to actually get that many kills. Right, and then if you I don't know if you follow like the KVKs, like 1093, 1960, like the numbers win. Like if the quality is decent enough, whoever has the more number is going to have a huge advantage.
Yeah, I watched it a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of hard to watch those because I'm just like, what is even going on? There's just so much stuff on the field. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's for me. Honestly, I don't actually like watching it that much. I like playing it. It's really fun playing, especially a kingdom that's organized, you're working together and like voice and everything. But watching it, like, you know, like if you gave me like a first-person shooter where someone's really good, that's exciting to watch. But like watching this game is not personally what I enjoy the most. Yeah.
So I guess the biggest hurdle for me for a third archer march would be gear. And I guess my plan initially was to get the gloves and the shield for my infantry march.
Yeah.
Just for that march speed.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
And then I was gonna go from there, but even that is gonna be like I made like 4 or 5 of the equipment that I showed you.
Yeah.
Right before this KVK, so I'm kind of low on equipment.
Okay.
So even if I was to scrounge something together, it would be all probably purple gear for archers, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the archer gear is the easiest to actually field. If you have the revival set, and then obviously the golden age, the weapon, and then you just have the dragon's breath chest, that's actually good enough to field. But I would say like for infantry, you need at least 3 legendary pieces. I think for calves, you need the chest and the boots. And then I think for archer, you just need the chest. Yeah, now like with this infantry march, you already have a wind scar and a flag on there. If you're not looking for the march speed bonus, like the shield with the health, honestly probably is providing more than the attack, even though it's a lot more attack. It's really like that march speed bonus that you're after, that you're switching to the shield for, right? But if you're running Scipio Luce, that's actually more than fast enough. Like you don't have to, but again, like it's fun, right? Like already pretty fast infantry march, it's faster. It's not a bad thing. I'm a big advocate for march speed, but with your 2 accessories already, and then if you're planning on running Scipio Luce, you really don't need that 4-piece bonus to make it viable.
Okay.
So that's just something to think about, yeah.
Yeah, and then as far as like Mina and YSG, like I would just kind of bench them. Is that's
when you get to Season of Conquest? Like the end
just
game?
like KVK 3 or KVK 4, because you were talking about maybe potentially just doing 5511 Herman.
I think KVK 3, you can actually run Mina double. You have to get the museum, like the double museum, with the new Cav commander. Okay.
What about like?
I think
something like.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I would personally like it. I saw Spartan Gaming do a testing on this. This was a while ago, so don't quote me on this. But I think his testing, it was either a 5311 or a 5411 ZL was just straight up better than a YSG.
Yeah.
Right, like the power creep is crazy. And then at this point, if you're putting the double museum on Mina, I'm not sure. Like you won't be able to double museum a YSG. You might be able to get 1 museum out of the 2. You know, and like yeah, like and I'm telling you 5511 for both, because like that actually is already really good on the field. Like it's actually pretty disgusting, like how much debuffs they do on top of just like the AoE and stuff.
Yeah, I guess I'm just worried that like there's just gonna be cross seasons that there's like I'm just not even gonna be able to keep up if I try to spread out too quick, I guess is my
Is KVK 3? What seed is your kingdom?
We're imp.
Okay, so you're the strongest one on your continent, or one of the strongest ones?
Yeah, we're the strongest ones as of right now.
You'll be fine. If you're running 5511 Herman and ZL, like when you run into like a 8-bill KP player, yeah, they're gonna destroy you, right? But that I don't think it would have mattered that much anyways. But like for the most part, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be fighting that 8-bill player alone anyways, right? Most of the fighting should probably be in a ball context, So like yeah, like expertising those 2 is not going to change the outcome against a player 8-bill KP when KVK 3 for you. Yeah.
I guess yeah, I mean I don't know. My original plan, like I said, was to just try to expertise LC and Scipio and then get the new Cav in June, and then I'm guessing
you can expertise Scipio, because the archer wheel doesn't come around towards like the end of KVK 3 anyways.
Yeah. Right,
so that could be like a end of KVK, an off-season project that you're working on for KVK 4.
Okay, yeah.
I think the definitely the next Cav commander, right? It will be at least 5551. We just don't know until the skills revealed. And then LC is definitely an expertise, and then Scipio, it's you get him. I think his 4th skill is really good. His expertise isn't that good, but his 4th skill is worth getting the expertise for.
Okay, so you think then a good plan would be just trying to set up the archer for KVK 4?
Definitely KVK 4. You won't even have them ready for KVK 3.
Okay. So that gives me a lot more time.
Yeah. I think KVK 3, you having 2 solid marches, you'll do really well.
Okay. So for KVK 3, a CAF, whatever CAF commander in June, and then potentially, you said something about Kyo might be a good pair for the new one.
So if you're only going to run 1, right? You're only going to run 1. let's just assume, okay, the new cav will be one of the two, and then by then, like, I'll probably make a video about it, right? But like, we don't know. I'm guessing it's Joan, but honestly, if it was anything like the leak that was revealed, which I think was a fake, right? But like that leak was like, oh well, if the target is slowed, you get this much extra like boost. Whenever the battle restarts, like literally, it was like a commander designed to be paired behind Hua. Right.
Yeah.
So like if that's what they're going for, like it doesn't matter what I think, right? Like Hua will be actually the best pair for that. So it actually depends when it comes out.
Okay. Cool.
But I don't think you should expertise any of these commanders other than LC. Like unless the cav commander's expertise is like transformative. I'm not saying you don't want to expertise them eventually, but like you will get so much more value just getting the commanders that need to get to 5511 to that spot or 5551 to that spot, and then you come back and work on the ones where you can get the biggest value to expertise them. Right. So or another way to another way to say it, is that you want what? Now I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you say whatever you can say.
I was saying now with those the new information with those dailies, it kind of gets even more confusing.
It's actually more straightforward. Yeah, I think it's more straightforward. I think if you're willing to spend a little bit, I think it's just as soon as off season starts, you already start working on Scipio, right? And let's just say it's about a month to get into KVK 3 from when the off season starts. I think it's actually a little longer, but let's just say it's a month, and you're averaging like 3 heads per daily. You already have 100 gold heads in there. Right, you only need like 80 more to get to. I actually want to say it's higher than 3, but I just don't remember because that was like early on when I first got to KVK 4. I'm a nerd. I'm like doing all the math. It's been almost a year now at this point. But yeah, like the dailies go into Scipio, right? You already have a cav commander that's expertise. Then you'll double museum him, and then just unlock ZL and Herman. You want to spin the wheel for them, you can. Get them to 5511, and that could actually be your 3 marches for KVK 4.
Okay. And then for my gear, so during KVK 3, you said cav gear, I could upgrade the chest.
Honestly, if you upgrade the chest and like have equipment, I'm on the cav gear, and you walk into KVK 4 with this infantry set and then the cavalry set, but with the cav set chest, that's actually already good enough, right? So you do anything above that, that's above and beyond.
Okay, and then I feel like my cav armaments are okay. My infantry armaments, I mean they're both kind of
Yeah. So what do you feel like is the struggle for you with armaments, if there is any?
Transmutation stones to transmute the few good ones I have. I don't think I have a lot with inscriptions. I don't have any double inscriptions. I only have one special inscription, and then I just don't have a lot of inscriptions in general.
I mean, you're in KVK 2, and you only just got access to armaments not that long ago, right?
Yeah.
I would say, so let's see, you're towards the end of KVK 2, so you probably got access to armaments like less than 3 months ago.
Yeah, like probably 2 months ago maybe.
I don't think it's that bad if you only had it for like 2 months. I'm not sure what you expected, and like because there's not even that many ways to spend on it, and like and it's probably not worth it for you to spend on it right now.
I mean, I think I'm in a good. I mean, I don't think I'm in a terrible spot for the amount of time. I guess I'm just saying like that's kind of what I need to work on.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing for armaments, do you have like too many where you're just like almost like hoarding?
So I mean I don't think so. I usually only keep the armaments with an inscription, or if they have high rolls, and I think that maybe in the future I can put an inscription on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would say this is more general without actually looking at your specific armaments. I mean, unless you want to show me your armaments, we can look at them real quick.
I can screen share, I
Okay,
guess,
cool.
because I mean that was gonna be one of my questions anyways.
Yeah, okay. Let me end this and then you can screen share.
I could potentially, hopefully, I'm pretty sure I performed well enough to get the Zig awards.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're supposed to be getting a inscription choice chest. I'm not exactly
Yeah.
sure which type of inscription it's gonna be, but
Yeah, I think you'll do well enough.
can you see?
Yeah, I can see it. Okay. Let me move it over to the other screen. Wait. Okay. Okay, so let's go to just like exit out of this. And then just go to your commander page and then just go we'll start with Mina first. So click on the armaments there. Okay. And then yeah, start with the scroll. Scroll down real quick. Okay. Okay. So you okay, I can tell you right now you have too many. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me go look at the instruments. Okay, scroll down. Okay. Okay, so what is your like medium term plan? Is it a run 3 marches or you don't plan on going more than 3, right?
Not for at least 2 KVKs.
Okay.
My initial plan was to upgrade the shield and arms for this.
Yeah.
Potentially look at upgrading the chest and the helmet for this, and then start working on my archer march.
Yeah. So I'm a pretty big advocate for actually not doing the set home for the Cav and just go for the Pride of the Con.
Oh yeah. That was.
Yeah. So like
that was actually my plan.
Yeah, because the purple is attack, and then when you go to the set helm, it's defense, but the Pride of the Con just gives you more defense, right? And you're not actually running.
Yeah.
You don't need that set bonus. So the blue looks ugly, but you almost just deal with it until you can get the Pride of the Con. So for this, I think what you should shoot for is for every troop type, you just have at most 3 armaments, or maybe even 2 left. Okay, so there's obviously going to be what you have that's the best for that march right now, and then you're either saving an inscription or something that has like a very high stat, like either health or defense usually, that you could potentially inscribe later on. Right, so then that's for the most part going to be legendary. So unless you have some crazy epic or blue, right, which is even less likely because you can't even get an inscription on there, you shouldn't be saving those, right? Because you have to think of this like if I was like a retail store, right, and I just have a crap load of inventory in the warehouse, that's money that I'm actually wasting. I'm not moving around. Because you recycle those, you're getting transportation stones, and you recycle those. Now there's a pity system. It could be sooner, but at the worst, every 150 legendary armament you recycle, you're guaranteed to get a rare or a special inscription.
Okay.
Right, and then as you're recycling those, you can get those shards. And I actually really like the update they made, because before you used to get these like useless purple inscriptions. Now you either get legendary inscriptions or you could get more transportation stones. So you actually want to be pretty diligent when recycling those. We can walk through one of the types of this, because if we do the whole thing, it'll take like an hour and a half. But if you have one like you want to go through, we could go through like one of them, just so you can kind of know the thought process.
Yeah. So I guess with my inscription that I potentially could be getting. I guess I'm trying to see what I would put it on.
Okay,
so I've been saving, like, I'll save stuff with inscriptions. I mean, also these rolls seem pretty good.
What's your infantry one? What's one on Richard for that one? The scroll you just showed me. Let's see.
Yeah. So 1.7% and 2.8 defense.
Combo. Okay.
I just like this combo.
Yeah.
This looks like a pretty good inscription. So.
Yeah, it is good.
Okay, yeah. This other one is good too.
Yeah, I'm like shocked that you had that well clad, because that's a really good one too. Okay, cool. And then
so I just kept this because I felt like I wasn't getting a lot of kills with him. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, and then
This
Overwatch,
has a pretty good
Tremor.
roll.
Wait, go to Tremors again. I don't think Tremor's that good. Let me see again. Yeah, Tremor is not that good right now. Because there's just not that many commanders that do like direct damage beyond the active skill. Right? And then when it triggers, it's only doing like essentially like one fourth of a white damage. Okay, let's see the other legendary. Okay, so the 2 infantry ones I would actually just recycle. Like one's a triple, right? And then one's a double.
This one?
Right, but yeah, so like that one is triple, but it's kind of low. And literally, you have 2 already, like the well-clad at the very top middle and the top left, that are way higher upside and already straight up better than those. So for example, right, if you take the 3rd one in the middle on the bottom, in the middle, yeah, that one. Okay, so that's a double stat, right? So are you like keeping it for the cav health?
Yeah, I was keeping it because of the 3% cav health.
Okay, then what else do you have? What do you have on the Mina? No, you could just go back. You could just go back to there. Click on the scroll again, and then go to Mina, like just the one that Mina has.
Yeah.
Okay, so that you have 3.2 cap health, and then go to the bottom one. Right, so you have 3. So you're only gonna work on 1, right? You don't need the other one. Let's see, what's the top right? Well, what's the one on buy bars actually? Okay. I would actually, if it was me, so between the buy bars one and this Mina one, I would, if you get an inscription, right? You can actually get one in KVK. I don't know, can you get one in KVK 3? Like if you win or lose?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I just know that in this one.
Like, is there Altark before Season of Conquest? Oh yeah, okay. No, but that's okay. But that's the achievement there. Okay.
Which I should be getting, because our alliance is gonna get the Zig and.
Yeah. Okay,
that's gonna be my big thing, is what to put that on.
Okay, so I would actually put that on. I would actually put that on. Well, it's going to be a scroll, so open that up again. So, really, the choice is between the one in the middle, right, where you have Amina right now, and then the one on buy bars right now for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, buy bars.
Yeah. So I would actually put it on the Mina. Now, this is a double stat, right? So like, if it's just based on pure stat right now, I would probably actually take the 2 defense and the 2.9 attack over just 3.2 health. I like it, but the 3.2 health, it's a higher upside because it's a lot higher. It's a lot harder to get a high stat like that, and health is, even on Cav, it's still the most important stat, right? So
yeah.
The problem with this though is, if you put the hunter on here, it's a lot more work to get it to a good place, right? Because you're gonna lock the health and you're gonna roll the other 2 until you get another calf stat, and then let's just say you get a 1.5. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would just keep rolling it.
yeah, exactly.
I
right?
mean, that's probably
yeah. So the way like I would do this is, and hopefully you just get something better to like work with, right? Because that's why ideally you have like 2 at least mid high stat, or like 2 high stats, because then you just need 1. Even if you hit 1.5, that still is like really good, and you're probably not going to work on that. Like, but if you have 2 high stats and then you have like a 1.5 and you're working to get that 1.5 higher, all your other armaments should be in a really good place, right? Because to get the same kind of boost from nothing to 1.5, you literally need to go from 1.5 to 3, which is exponentially harder, right? So
is there a reason you said the scroll? It's going to be the scroll and not one of these other 3?
The special inscription only goes on the scroll.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No matter what?
Yeah. Now the bottom right, the banner, or the flag, I mean, I call it a banner. That one, when you exit this real quick, and then you go to the, is it called like the courier station, whatever? Yeah, right there. So you see how you go to superior, And then when you recycle 180, right, you'll actually get either an inscription or transmutation stones. And then you'll get one of those little shards, and you need 8 of those shards to actually get one of these special inscriptions for
Okay.
other, yeah. So like right now, the way it's set up, it's really hard. I only have 7. I've been doing this since they first came out with it. I think it's like November of 2022, right? Or January, something 2023. And I'm at 7. so
And these
so
and
right now they
these
made
two
it really
you
hard.
can't even.
These two, you can't even do anything right now. The only way you could get an inscription for that is when you recycle 180 of those, you could potentially get a not special or rare inscription.
Okay.
Now, are they going to actually?
This banner? I don't got anything for this thing.
Yeah. So in general, the top 2, the chances of getting something good, or getting an inscription is actually gonna be a lot higher than the chances of getting something on the emblem on the bottom left and the banner or the flag on the bottom right. So in general, your scroll and your instrument is going to be better than the emblem and the flag.
Okay.
Right, that's normal. Okay, so for you right now, let's actually just go through. Let's just go through the scroll since I already saw a lot of it. So the top left, click on that again. The scroll on the top left. No, the yes, yeah, right there. Okay, now scroll down. Okay, so let's look at these blues, right? So I guess you just haven't recycled them yet. So like this one, you have a lock, right? There's like 0.5% archer stats, right? Or like this one.
Oh, yeah. I don't even. That was probably an accident.
Okay.
So usually by the end of the week, before the courier station resets, I'll make sure they recycle everything.
Okay. So let me see the other one you have locked right now. Okay, so that was actually decent for an epic. Let's go down to the blue at the bottom. I think that was locked. Yeah, so like unlock that. Let me look at the other epics next to the one that's locked. Just make sure. Okay, and then the one on Martel. Okay, so that's actually better than the other epic you have locked.
This one?
Yeah, so I would actually just unlock that one too. Not the one on Martel. Yeah, I would just unlock that one. Here's the problem with it. When you have too many that are kind of close, one, it's just like inventory you're wasting, but it actually starts like affecting your decision making where you're like, oh, do I keep this or not? And it just starts building up. It's actually, I'm not saying you're a hoarder, but it's what happens to hoarders, right? So let me look at Kusunoki. Oh my god, you have so many that are all in the same range. Okay, and the one on Lohar. Why do you have so many archer ones? Maybe Lilith just wants you to be an archer main. Okay. Okay. So
actually, I've gotten a bunch of really good archer.
Okay. Are you running all of these with are you running all of these bar marches of archers? Or why do you have like archer armor?
I mean, I honestly don't even know, to be honest.
Okay. So
I'm surprised to see the Charles Martel one with archers.
Okay, yeah. So go back to the scroll. We're just gonna look at the scroll only, because I want you to kind of get like an idea how to do this, and you can do this on your own. It's painful. I get it, right? Because they're like, oh, this is good, but like even if you were running 7 marches, at most you'll need 3.
Yeah.
Right? So like right now you have 4 archer ones, and are you even running like archer on the bar marches? If you're not, they're not even really doing anything for you besides maybe the all damage, right?
I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes I guess. I mean, it's kind of mindless. Like usually, if I send out barbs marches, I'm just like doing it really quick.
Yeah. Okay. Let me look at the top row, the epic. Payback. Okay, that's isn't that like a barb? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll put that on ZL in the future, you know. Barb marching.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Enrage. Okay. So those aren't locked. It's fine. I would just recycle those. Let's go a line higher. Okay. Okay. So right. So like for example, right. Look at the one on the right. So that one you're getting 4.8 stats. And then let's just go to the one that's on Kusunoki again. And this one you're getting 5.9. Okay, so I would, you don't have to do it now, but I would actually get like the line where you have Martel, Kusunoki, and Lohar. I would get rid of the one on Kusunoki and Lohar. Keep the one where the legendary where you have two archer stats. Actually, the attack isn't even that high, right? But like, and that's just like a just in case. If you get an inscription, you want to start messing around with that as a project. Go to the one in the middle real quick. Okay, that one I would unlock. Like, you already have one on Mina that's just straight up better. This one I would unlock. You already have two that are better. Tremors, this one I would actually just recycle too. Like, Tremors is just not good. It's actually probably one of the worst ones. And again, you already have two that are better. The buy bar and the Mina you would keep for now. Right, and then let me see the one. Okay, Pulverize. Okay. Two low stats, but it actually has an inscription that's decent. And then go to the middle. Okay. Yeah, okay, so yeah, and then I would actually like kind of move the scroll around. Like, if you're not running archers with the Lohar or the Kusunoki maybe you're running archers, right? But the Lohar, you're probably not running all of them archers. Just put like something more relevant to the troop type you run with them on there. Like, I have bar presets. I don't even remember what's running with who, but like sometimes I just like to make it where usually I have like maybe like 9 total total armaments, and they're all equipped on something that's relevant, right? Like, it keeps it neater, and it makes it where whenever I get one, then it's either if I'm going to keep one, I'm going to get rid of one, or I'm just going to recycle it instantly. So it never really builds up, and I could quickly like make a decision when I get one. Okay, there's this or this. Which one would I rather keep, right? So I have one that could be a high upside. Now, if I already have, I run 6 marches, right? So if I already have 2 that are really good, and then one that's high upside, and another one comes in, I'm only going to keep one with high upside. I'm not going to keep 2, because if I am going to work on one, I'm just going to work on one, not both.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to start like keeping it very simple, and then once you do that, and I've helped a decent amount of people at this point with armaments. I've somehow turned into the armament guy. I will get messages from later on. We're like, hey, I'm doing this, and they just seem to actually clean up their armaments better and do better. Right. But like, kind of the painful thing is like starting out like clean out the inventory, so you get away from this like hoarder mentality. Okay, so like kind of do that with all your armaments, and you'll probably realize you got way more transmutation stones than you thought you had before. Okay, I think for your equipment, if you want to do the shield and the gloves, I think, is it the gloves? Yeah, the gloves to get the 4-piece. Just get that done. Definitely do the chest for the cav. And you can just start working on your archer, right? And like, I think the goal is to have the 3 marches for KVK 4, and you'll have enough gold heads to expertise LC 551. Well, that will be the archer will be towards the end of KVK, and then the calves probably 5551 starting out, and that actually is going to be like a really good place.
Do you think it's worth getting spending the gems on these gold heads?
I don't think it's worth it for the gold heads. I think it's worth it for the equipment. Because if you look at the gold heads, right, I think I did math real quick. I think every one of these little hats is it 50?
Yeah, it's 50, 1,000 a head.
Right, it's 1,000 a head, right? Whereas like for every one of these equipment chests, it's 500 per legendary chest. I mean, not legendary, epic chest, right? And that's actually, to me, that's worth it.
Okay.
Oh, but if you do spend money, do you go click on the little accessory one above that?
Oh, okay.
I actually saw Seawheel post about this a few months ago. I thought he was trolling, but the Bard's Pendant, that gives you 5% extra resources from when you gather resources, and that's actually a really good value. So if you like, actually out of everything in this all the rewards here, the Bard's Pendant, in my opinion, is actually probably the best value.
Okay.
Man, I haven't seen card kings in a long time. Damn.
Yeah, I never do this thing. I don't usually have the gems to do it.
Yeah, but also none of the commanders are really worth it. If you were like a higher, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just trying to get enough of the sculpture so I can buy the 10 gold heads. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but you have any like other questions?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I have a okay way forward. So, like we just said, finish off these 2 pieces, the chest for this.
Yeah. Now, if you were gonna pick
dailies,
if you're gonna pick order for that, it would actually be the cav chest first, then the infantry gloves, and then finally the infantry shield. Because right now, if you lose a shield and you get if you lose this shield and you get the legendary shield without getting the march speed bonus, like, it's not. Honestly, you probably actually do worse. You know, like, and you can test that out in Canyon, right? But like, if you get it for the march speed, right, with the, and then eventually you can put iconic and everything on it, then that's worth it.
Okay. And then now that the whole Scipio Nevsky thing's going on, I'll buy some. I'll probably buy at least some dailies for Scipio.
Yeah, as soon as the KVK 3 offseason starts, I would start buying dailies, because once you unlock them too, right, there's all these other ways, like events, where you could get more like sculptures for Scipio too. So you definitely just want to get them unlocked as soon as possible when you can. Other than that, I can't. Let me think. In the dailies, if you're doing 3 marches, you don't need anything else, unless you somehow want to go the daily route for the for Nevsky to pair with a new Cav commander instead of Joan. Like, Nevsky's still really good. You could get him in dailies. Yeah.
So I mean, it would either be. It would definitely be either Nevsky or Scipio.
I think with where you're at right now, it should definitely be Scipio if you're only gonna pick one. Just because you have like Mina that you could fill in, right? Like, so for example, like right now, my second Cav March, I'm still running Mina William, and it's actually really solid. I am gonna replace Mina whenever this new Cav commander comes out, right? But it's like it's not sexy, but it gets the job done.
Yeah.
And
I think the big thing I'm gonna have to wait for is the Cav commander, because I know I want to do Scipio and LC.
Yeah.
The Cav commander, kind of like not knowing what that's gonna be is kind of gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know if it's gonna be out yet until. Like,
it should be May. Should be like early May. So should be right around the time when you get into KVK 3.
Yeah. So now 10 days of this, and then.
Yeah. No. The cool thing with when a new commander comes out, it doesn't matter which like wheel it is, you'll still be able to like select a new commander and at least unlock them.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just say the first Cav wheel comes out and the new Cav commander isn't out yet. On the next wheel, you'll actually still be able to pick them, even if it's for like infantry or something. Which, I mean, hopefully it's not, but yeah.
And then I think I've asked you this already before, but as far as like this Zenith skin that I got,
yeah,
Twilight Falls, Is like if I so I know obviously if I don't have an archer march, then it's
Yeah.
kind of, you know,
Yeah.
this. But if I do 3 marches and it's one of them's going to be an archer march, would that then change what I should
So
do?
you're essentially okay. So 12 attack, right? But then you lose 10% archer defense. Versus
Yeah.
Twilight Falls, I think you lose 10% infantry attack.
Yeah.
I would actually probably take the Twilight Falls, just because you're already taking like the least tanky troop type, and you're making it even squishier. It just, I don't know. I feel like the hit you take is more severe from losing 10% from archer defense than from losing 10 infantry attack.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're talking about would you rather have 5% skill bonus damage to everyone or 12% attack to everyone? I would say for me personally, without doing the math, that seems like it's probably about in the equivalent range. So I would actually go with the penalty or the hit that's less severe.
Okay. And then right now I'm using France.
Go Ottoman.
So at like what point do you think I should do that? Yeah. Should that be next KVK, go straight to Armament, or?
Well, without archers, without archers, right? You don't get you're not getting that archer special unit. I think the march speed is universal, and the skill damage is universal.
Yeah.
Right. I would actually still go Ottoman. Ottoman is just the best open field civilization.
Okay.
So like yeah, like I mean. France. I don't know. Maybe there's something I was missing, but like the biggest advocate for France is like the hospital healing reduction, right? Like I've never have a problem with speeds. I've run out of resources, but not speeds. So I tried it for like a KVK, and I'm just like, why am I picking this? I feel like I get way more value from Ottoman.
Yeah. So I know for me, the first KVK actually did run out of speeds.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I went this way for the second one, but now that I'm T5 and I can use my universals for healing, it wasn't as big of a problem.
Yeah.
And that's even after I used a bunch of speeds on Zenith, so...
Yeah. Okay.
But, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to know, too, because our kingdom's pretty strong. Like, our first KVK and this KVK pretty much ended in one day.
Okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, like... I feel like it's actually going to be kind of hard for you to run out of speeds and resources running 2 marches. In KVK3,
well, that's kind of also why I went down to two marches as well, is because I ran out of speeds the first KVK.
Yeah.
And I got zeroed, so I mean, there's a few factors.
Yeah, I would just go Ottoman for the next KVK with 2 marches, and you should be good. Yeah, that's actually really strong. You're like 7.7 bill in KVK2.
Yeah, our kingdom is actually really pretty strong. So
was it like a?
Here,
oh wow, okay.
Third alliance, or second alliance, I mean.
Was it like a jumper group that started here?
Yeah, it was originally. I kind of just lucked into it. Like I was saying, I was making a sleeper account.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, there's some like pretty powerful people in this kingdom. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go over there. And then next thing you know.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way to play the earlier KVKs. It's fun. It's fun being the biggest kingdom.
Yeah, I think. So we didn't get any fights Zone 5, and then Zone 6 we had a 2v1 versus 08 and 20, and like I said, we pretty much
just destroyed them.
The KVK in a day, and then so like that's how much experience I have with fighting so far.
Okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, it'll probably be even worse KVK3. KVK3 is just probably the most boring KVK. Some of the, like, cause they'll group it like AA and then BB, right, for you guys. Some of how Lilith classifies like an A seed in KVK3 is kind of bad. Like they have no business being an AC, but I don't know how they calculate it. And then a lot of times you don't even get fighting; they just avoid you, right? Especially if you guys are that strong. So just be prepared for that. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was the biggest reason why I couldn't get to 25 mils, because I mean
Yeah.
all the fighting basically is me going to altars trying to get people that
Yeah, that
will
already
either fight me
AFK'd,
or
yeah.
like I mean there's nothing. I mean and it's kind of like I don't want to be that player, but at the same time like I need
No,
to
I
get
get
killed
it,
somehow.
yeah.
Like,
No, that
I
was like
can't
it
just,
was. It's like that for us too. Like my native kingdom, I started in. There was a jumper group. They were actually, we were really strong, especially in our. We're the strongest in our continent. So I play 6 KVKs. I've only had one, which is KVK 4, where I felt like there was a decent amount of fighting, and even then, I compare that to like say watching the kingdom I'm in now, 2260, and the fights they get. Like it's not even close. But the other 5 KVKs were all like super one-sided, and we're over so quick, right? So, yeah, I'm excited to actually get some fighting. Like real fighting
yeah,
for
I
the
mean
first
I saw
time. Yeah.
2268 the past 2 KVKs they were
Yeah.
fighting a lot from what I've
Yeah.
seen.
I mean, they were weaker, right? But like the kingdom's like super tenacious, so they're like, I dream of that kind of fighting in this next KVK. That'll be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, are you gonna stream some of it or?
Yeah, I'll stream a lot of it, I think. There's a lot of
I think that's the
streamers
worst
already.
part.
There's already a lot of streamers in our kingdom, so I'll do it too. But it's I do want to make it where it's not like oversaturated.
For sure. I mean, the worst thing with Rise of Kingdoms, like streaming, I think, is the fact that you have to stream on a delay. Like the most exciting part of the KVK, like you can't really do it live.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna stream if it's on a delay. No, but nobody, none of us want to stream on a delay, right? So it's like might as well not stream at that point. Someone will do it, but there'll still be a lot of fighting where we don't have to stream on the delay, so it'll be fun.
Oh, cool. Well, maybe I'll watch some of it.
Yeah, man. All right,
But,
you have anything else?
No, I mean I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but I had to actually like, no problem. I had to actually review your account. I think you did a really good job so far. Like you're set up really well, and it seems like whatever you thought was like a good direction. So yeah, I think you'll actually do really well.
Cool. All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. No problems. Any questions, anything? You could shoot me a message in game or something. Stay in touch.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right.
Peace out.
All right, man. Have a good night or a good day.
You too.